Mercedes Moné is now officially the first woman in history to have competed at the following Madison Square Garden, Tokyo Dome, Wembley Stadium, Arena, Mexico. And some people called it out. They're like, no, Bull Nakano was the first to whatever. And then people were like, well, she did Wembley Arena, which is different than stadium or whatever. So either way, guys, I know you don't like Monet. Just give her flowers. I mean, listen, there's all these people like freaking out about why she's booking her own to win all these belts with her. No. These feds are behind it too. She's a big name in WWE. They want this too. Yes. Is she agreeing and pushing ideas and saying, oh, well, she could get pinned and going along with it? For sure. Is it Hogan-esque? Absolutely. Without question. But guys, everyone in AEW, everyone in wrestling in general has a degree of creative control. If you get to pick your own name or turn down storylines, hey, we want you to make out with this person. I'm not comfortable with that. Everybody has a say in pro wrestling. You do. More so in AEW. She has her own writer. Okay, Peppermin's approving lines. She's right. If they go, we want you to work her. How's this going to work? Peppermin and Monet get the final say. Yes. Is Toni down with the belt collector thing? Yes. Is these other feds down with it? For sure. Is she down with it? For sure. She's not going to be like, well, no, don't book me like that. She's not going to say that. She's going to take the money and run. She's going to do this for her, and that good for her that she's able to do this because of her time in WWE, right? Like if it boiled down to Monet and Megan Bayne are in the room and Megan Bayne goes, well, I think it should go this way. And Monet says, I think it should go this way. Who do you think gets the final? Yes, her creative control is more than Megan Bayne's or more than everyone else pretty much. Okay. So yes, she's not going to eat the pin. They're going to book her strong. Dave Meltzer said something about Monet was willing to lose to Athena because he's lying on behalf of AEW. And he goes, and I'm going to give points to Fightful here because they've been just taking these layups from Dave where he's claiming and then Fightful's swooping in and coming with the or at least they're claiming they have the facts. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Right? It's not like someone made a chart before where they're like, here's how accurate every dirt sheet is. And Fightful was like, I think 70% plus, right? 76% or whatever. And however, whoever made that chart, however they determine what's right or not, I guess is we could break that down too. That's a whole thing. But if we're just going based off, okay, the news, like what Dave's been doing is talking, and then Fightful the last couple weeks, they've been swooping in and like proving him wrong on some of these because it's just easy to do. Because like if I can call it, anyone can call this out, you know? So it's just kind of funny to see this happen where Dave's like, Monet was willing to lose to Athena, but then decided not to. What was the reason? Because Toni Storm, whatever, and then Fightful swooped in and they're like, no, since last year, Tony Khan's plan was to do Toni Storm Athena. Toni Storm Mercedes Moné at All In, which was obviously where they were going. When Moné came in and won the TBS title and didn't go straight for the women's world title and kept not going straight for that belt, you had to figure ultimately who's your two top guys. It's Toni Storm and it's Mercedes Moné, your two top gals rather. So you had to see that coming. Yeah, I mean, don't be so mad. Like, it's not like Monet's walking into these companies and going, I'm taking your title. And the random tent show she did, that Fed wants her to have that belt and possibly wear it on TV, or she's not going to wear it. I think she has more belts than this right now. I think maybe, I can't remember, but these are like the main ones she's showing on TV, right? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are all the ones, but she has like 6 belts now or something. She couldn't even carry them all. Someone, Hangman, hang 'em high, or Awful Wrestling. He was like, he made the Sonic rings flying off her, but that's Hang 'em High's whole gimmick. If you guys know who Hang 'em High is on Twitter, he's like a wrestling fan who makes edits of wrestlers and shit, and he's got like fans of his own to where like everybody makes the joke, even wrestlers in the business make the joke that this Hang 'em High guy is Triple H low key, you know, because I don't know, he's just tapped in. I like his Twitter feed and shit. He's good. He makes good edits, but his gimmick is like doing the Sonic rings bursting off of people. So a few people made that edit. It was super funny. The point I'm getting at is she's got so many belts, she gets suplexed and everyone goes, it looks like Sonic rings flying off her, you know? It's funny. These other companies are behind it. Now she's gonna beat Toni Storm at All In, guys. Okay, so again, this All In show's largely predictable, and if Moxley leaves with the belt, everyone's gonna shit all over that, and they could do that. Hangman could win it. I think that is the move. It seems like everybody's sort of getting behind Hangman. He really crushed it with that promo at Grand Slam as well. And I think that either way you go in that match, but it just feels like been there, done that, in my opinion. I got to just be totally honest. So the both world title matches for the men and women's going in All In, I'm like, oh, all right. I mean, we already seen Mox in this Reign of Terror. We've already seen Hangman with the belt how many times? I'm not like clamoring for a fucking Hangman world title run again. And Mone, we just know she's going to beat Toni Storm. And if Toni Storm beats her, okay, is it for all 12 of her belts? No, it's just for the AEW women's belts. So we know Toni's not just going to defend it. You know, Mone's going to get it, complete this. And then how does she drop all these belts? One by one, she just lost in her last year in AEW. And just gets beat to dust, then goes crawling back to WWE? Or like, does she just, how does this all end? Does she vacate them all and just shit on everybody? Or maybe is that the money move to do? And if she works herself into that position, I mean, fuck, who wouldn't jump at that to be someone to do that? Imagine you had the opportunity, like fucking Toni will let Sting vacate all those belts, right? Now, I don't know if these other companies will let her vacate all these titles, and, they might make her drop them. And then eventually she's got like, what happens? She loses one and then just reigns with 5 more and goes, well, whatever. I don't need that belt. It's like, nah, dude. At some point, she's got to drop all these back to back to back to back as well. So heavy lies the crown, man. And she's rolling with the punches, and she's got old Mortos there who got worked into, by the way, like last minute. There was a replacement, and he got on the fucking Grand Slam card. Go figure. Yeah, so heavy lies the crown, and she's got Mortis there or Taurus, Black Frank Mortis, whatever. He's there to help carry those bags as well. And I'm not even dissing him. Like, I'm just saying, heavy lies the crown. Like, you're there to fucking. She's got a lot of titles to lug around. You're a strapping young man. You're not on TV too terribly much, maybe more now, So, hey, it's all looking up for Mercedes Moné. See, I'm giving her flowers. Do you think MJF took things too far at Grand Slam Mexico, or is this exactly the kind of reaction he wanted? So MJF was confronted by a fan at a hotel after controversial AEW Grand Slam stunt in Mexico. So he ripped Mystico's mask off. He put it on his face. And that's like, and then he flipped the crowd off. And then he got confronted by a fan who was like trying to fight him and shit. People broke it up. MJF no-sold it. Well, he actually did sell it by no-selling it, like his character, because in real life, he's probably like, well, I bet hopefully I don't get fucking shanked, But he no-sold it by selling it for it, by being his cocky, what are you going to do? I'm sure he's just being a little shithead the whole time. Good for him. Yeah, that's good heat he gets, and it was awesome heat on him. And it's really good for MJF. Now, I thought that was kind of fucked up to do on that show. I'm not going to lie. WWE show celebrated the history. Worlds Collide celebrated the history of Lucha Libre in general, AAA, Mexican heritage with the singing the anthems and sort of just honoring, even just, Savio Vega was there, just, that Latin shit in general, They were just celebrating that, and Vikingo, it was like a celebration of him and all of this stuff. And the AEW show is just, it favored AEW. Like, I'll give you a crucial point is where all the luchas come out to beef with MJF, and then who comes out for the big save? Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. And they're just like a tag team now. They debuted on the same day, so they're just like a tag team. And they're just going to fucking be like singles guys kind of, but a team that like loses, but they're going to make the save instead of like Bandito and Hechicero and some of these guys like getting one up on MJF and all hitting their moves. And maybe even someone takes out Lashley and you fucking build to a match between them down the line, like Lashley versus or something. Like, you got to think about, get their guys over a little bit, but no, it was just Mike Bailey's going to make the save in Mexico. I just thought that was like a big slap in their fucking face. I got to be honest. And WWE did a lot of introducing and like celebrating of history and stuff. And AEW just did matches, which is totally fine. And if you watch any lucha show, it was very much like that Grand Slam, just a bunch of fucking wild tag matches and wild shit happening. That's pretty much the crux of it all. So, and AAA rather is going in that more storytelling work in the shoot work style as well. So let's see how it pays off. And the race is on, man. The wars are heating up. Brody King wore and is selling abolish ice shirts at Grand Slam Mexico, and he's just selling them in general. He has abolish ice. So wasn't he also like fuck the cops and stuff? So I mean, whatever, dude, wherever people stand politically, ICE is like an organization. So I don't get it. This is what I'm confused about. So they're like the FBI of immigration, right? Am I understanding that correctly? It's just people doing their jobs at the end of the day. I don't know, though. I'm not like down there. I don't fucking know. Is he from California? Where's he from? Brody King can do and say what the fuck he wants, you know? And that's the beauty of, I guess, free speech in America and all that good shit, right? That everybody believes in. And I mean, if he wants to sell that, I don't know. I would just keep that out of whatever. But he can use his platform to say whatever the fuck he wants. You should be allowed to say, if you don't agree with it, we'll go cry about it somewhere else. You know what I mean? And if you do agree with it, more power to you, you know? Again, I'm Canadian, so it's like me talking about it is fucking cringe. I get it. So Bryan Danielson talking to the crowd after AEW Grand Slam Mexico. Where was his entrance, bro? Here, we got to play this. Look at this fucking building and the pop that Danielson gets. The American Dragon. American Dragon. American Dragon. You guys remember that show? What was that, like Drake Bell? There was like a show, it was like a cartoon where this kid could like turn into a dragon. That was a superpower or whatever. Anyways, but yeah, he got physical a little bit, and the rumors are, man, he's going to make a comeback, but he's not cleared yet, according to him. But there are plans in place, I guess, where I think at All In, he'll have a fucking last minute match. They'll just put him against like someone, or he'll be in like a tag match so he doesn't have to fucking get super physical. Or maybe he just does like a run in and gets everyone going. Yes, yes. They have to do that at All In. There's no way they don't get the yes thing going. But yeah, just look at the pop he got. It's great to see. But yes, a lot of empty seats you can see behind the fucking, but this is also, I think, after the show went off the air. So I don't know if a bunch of people dipped out to beat traffic. And also I saw some sickos online being like, I'm surprised WWE didn't send ICE to AEW shows to get, and I'm like, could you be any more fucking insensitive, dude? Like, that's fucked up to say. That's where I'm like, whoa, man. But anyways, here's Danielson getting a huge, I just forgot to mention that before. That was one thing as I was babbling, I was trying to remember, but I couldn't quite get my tongue on it. But anyways, here's Danielson. But even though, like, listen to the pop, even though people were clearing out. I think people were clearing out at this point. And here's the thing, like, if everything's full to the tits, but then behind and next to the screens aren't, like, is that a bad thing? And I think people cleared out because the camera was facing the screens when they actually had a house where they didn't need to do that, oddly enough. Yeah, I was born for greatness. I do like Danielson's remix version of his theme. Fee. Boom, Blue Psycho knee. See, he can bump around. So I think All In will at least get one of these moments. Maybe he makes a big save. Maybe all the Bumbaclot clan are like running out doing shit, and then he just runs in, refs down, he hits a Busaiku knee, Hangman Page hits the buckshot, 1, 2, 3. I could see something like that happening, and then having a moment where all the baby faces come out and lift Hangman up, and they try and do like a Cody Rhodes type. I think that's what's coming at All In Texas. That seems to be the way to go. And then Mox, man, and then they have to explain away the Bumbaclot clan, like they all have to still be on TV, or they just don't because it's AEW. And I mean, Danielson loves this because he's an Uber mark and he just like he gets to hug and chill with Blue Panther and shit, Brian Cage is to appear in an upcoming Steven Spielberg film alongside some other AEW stars. So Toni Storm, Camille, Britt Baker, all appeared in Queen of the Ring. MJF was a part of Iron Claw and soon to be Happy Gilmore too. Now, Brian Cage of the Callis family. Oh, so Archer, Cage, and Chavo Guerrero will also be in this Spielberg movie where there's a referee and has to do with UFOs. And Emily Blunt, Colin Firth, Wyatt Russell are in the film. So good stuff and good for AEW. You know, hopefully some of these guys, if you're not going to be on fucking TV. So Tony Khan personally went to CMLL CEO Salvador Luderoth Lomeli and requested the Beast Mortis be allowed to wrestle his first match in Arena Mexico in 14 years. This was the result of the absence of Cash Wheeler and Claudio Castagnoli on last night's Grand Slam Mexico, and CMLL were happy to accommodate, so Mortis was back at Arena Mexico. Now, why ain't he doing that for Roosh? Roosh is banned from Arena Mexico, but again, Mortis is dating Monet. We know Monet and Toni love each other. So speaking of Tony Khan, here's Alfred Konuwa at This Is Nasty, at Pro Wrestling Bits, friend of the show. I'll get him back on the show here sometime, maybe end of the summer. Or for maybe after SummerSlam, the bigger shows, I like having him on, you know. Tony Khan is a liar. And here's his take on Tony Khan being a liar. And he says that's okay, exactly. Tony Khan's supposed to be the guy lying to everyone. It's just that, like, when Dave goes, look, see? But then Vince McMahon lies about an attendance, and he's like, well, of course he lied about it. It's like, why aren't you keeping the same energy, bro?
2025 is the best year we've had.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
We've been able to grow our cable audience year over year.
Growth in cable? Who's doing that?
Well, honestly, us.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Actually, our cable audience, when we started simulcasting, went up.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
2020.
Yeah, a bunch of lies, man. And then the Arena Mexico show was not technically sold out. So people jumped on him for that as well. Awful announcing. Tony Khan says AEW cable audience is growing in spite of 24% viewership drop. And there you go. 24% viewership drop. Dave Meltzer says, I'm the single last person getting triggered about anything to do with wrestling. So we covered that on Wednesday, dude, and we just read his Twitter feed because he was just fucking having a meltdown for like 2 hours on people. I'm not triggered. So here is Nick Nemeth on Mercedes Moné winning another belt. Here is his take on it.
I think Mercedes has hit her stride with AEW, and here we are at the halfway point of 2025 or close to it. I think without a doubt, without question, Mercedes Moné is the women's wrestler of the year so far in 2025. I don't think there's a debate.
I think even if you're one of those 8 titles on her.
So it's just a quality over quantity thing, right? He's saying he thinks there's no doubt she's the best wrestler of the year because she won all the belts. I just don't know, man. Like, okay, if you value that shit, well, look, all these promoters said we're giving her the belt, so obviously that means she's the best. Like, I don't know about all that, man. I think there's something to say with the business WWE's doing and the quality over quantity. And if fucking Io Sky got in the ring with her right now, Io Sky's like the best worker in the world right now. If we're talking like physically having matches with people, now is Moné's style of match like better? I don't know. Dave only gives them like 3 stars and shit, you know? So I don't know, man. I don't know if that's an objective. I think you could argue that, you know?
But you know what she stands for, and you know what she can do, and you know that she's on television every week, and she looks the part, and she's walking a red carpet in between. She's the person that you want to be your champion.
Right, and that's why you guys got to understand. That's why, like, CMLL's down with the fucking plan. Now, yes, do they have to go to these people and say, hey, like, she's doing the belt collector thing, dog. Here's our plan. She'll have all these belts, and then you guys build up your people who are going to knock her down. That's got to be what they've pitched to everyone. This isn't the first time people have done it. Now, you know, the Hardys even, and that's who you do it with. They went and collected like 100 fucking tag titles when they were outside of WWE as well, because they're a name, right? And Nick Nemeth has got a great point here. And I get it. People might think she's fucking cringe. She hasn't really affected their business that positively as far as ratings and attendances and shit. They just want good matches, and she has good, quote unquote, good matches with everyone, you know, at least for what Tony wants to see. So, I mean, I guess that's what counts. And these other feds know, like, her having that belt the CMLL belt is going to do more for them than what's her name again? Zeus's and Persephone and these folks, right?
I can't think of someone right now who would even be. Yeah, it's not even a judgment call. It's like she's number one at the moment. She's the right.
I think Io's lack of title defenses since winning, could rank her below Mercedes. I'd listen to that argument.
Age to be dominating. She's picking up titles and making them worth more than they are without her. That's a huge step. That's huge for the business. That's good for AEW. That's good for her. That's good for whatever championship she holds.
Yeah, exactly. Like we saw her pull up at a tent show, win that fucking belt. That's good for them when she got to come back and drop that tent belt now. You know what I'm saying? So it is good. It is good for the biz, man. I see it. I see the value in it. I'm not entirely a hater on Mone belt collecting, although I am a hater on Dave Meltzer's star ratings for Grand Slam Mexico. So he gives Atlantis Jr., Bandito, Templario, Brody King, Adam Cole, and Daniel Garcia versus Dax Harwood, Valador Jr., Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, Hechicero, Josh Alexander, and Lance Archer a 4.25 stars. Better than fucking Rock Hogan.
Stupid idiot.
Okada versus Mark Briscoe, 3.5. MJF versus Mystico, 3.75. Hologram versus Ricochet versus Mascara Dorada versus Leo Rush, 4.5. So that was one of the greatest matches ever.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Boom.
Mercedes Moné versus Zeuxis, 3.75. Moxley, the Bucks, Yuta, Mortis, and Strickland, or versus Strickland, Ospreay, Samoa Joe, Shibata, Hobbs, 4.5. He gave it. Dave is fucking cooked, man.
Poor people don't like AEW.
He's so cooked. It's all good. If it's based on the only criteria he's ever given us was it's based on how the crowds moved. That's all we know after all these years. Okay, then maybe he's right. Crowd was hot. Right? If that's his criteria. He claims they're just objective and he gives shit he doesn't like high star ratings that he thought should have got less, which I think that's bullshit. And the only criteria he's ever said it's like a Richter scale and it's based on how like the crowds moved. If the crowds move, then okay. Yeah, all right, maybe he's right. Do you think AEW should have been honest about the attendance at Grand Slam Mexico? If AEW is a broad brush to stroke, I don't give a fuck. The commentary team, nope. Should Tony Khan have been on? Nope. The journalists, if Dave Meltzer's gonna to this day, if he's gonna spurg out over the fucking attendance of WrestleMania, whatever the fuck, it wasn't 91,000, Bryan. To this day, he's still crying about that. Then you have to do the same for All In Wembley. You have to, because I know people who were fucking there, who've been there when Tyson Fury's fought with 90,000 people there, whatever the fuck. He's like, no, it's just, more than one person. We got whole reports written to us on the fucking shit. Everybody knew that it's just what they do. It's what's going to happen at Texas as well. They distribute a fuckload of tickets. Whatever the number is, this how many tickets distributed. Don't be shocked if there's like 5K less people than that who actually show up, okay? Minus the staff and shit. You know what I mean? I would not be shocked for 1 second. I don't care if they carny it up. Tony's job, he's supposed to lie about that shit, so I don't give him shit. But just the journalists who don't keep the same energy on anything, like Meltzer, is who I'm talking about. Right? That's the shit I don't like. That's that shit I don't like. So the ratings for Dynamite are in. The show did 736,000 viewers. This number does not include viewers on Max. So I'm willing to give them 30 to 60,000 viewers on Max. Maybe this one was a little bit higher. This is just me making an educated, just from fucking reading the room and talking to folks, and I'll give them 30 to 60 on any given day. So let's go high end. Let's say they got another 50. Let's just say they did 800,000 with the Max numbers, being super generous. Good. That's a W. See, I'm being super generous there. That's a good number. And that's me being super generous. But did you guys know I'm being like super generous right now? And but I mean, I don't know, this lucha stuff, we're on to something here. Dave Meltzer was on to something with that lucha stuff, boy. And it's a little bump. Now, it's sad that 736, we're like, oh, that's fucking sad. And it's sad that we're talking about these numbers, the fucking Nielsen and all this shit. Like, we're fumbling around with the numbers and no numbers matter. And we're adding max and streaming's what matter in minutes. And then we're popping about the MJF fucking Mystico quarter hour. Like, it's always good for me, not for thee. I don't even want to engage in that shit because it's so fucking annoying. I didn't look at the quarter hours. I could give a fuck, and good on Mystico and MJF. I'm glad they fucking popped a rating. I am. 736, I mean, a couple years ago, this would be absolutely dreadful. And now it's like, oh my God, look what they did. And then NXT was preempted. Again, we're not making excuses for NXT, but nobody's talking about, oh, well, they were preempted. They're just talking about, oh, NXT finally got beat or whatever by Dynamite. So it's all dumb. Go head to head. Stop being pussies or shut the fuck up. You know, that's all I got to say. WWE at least put their money where their mouth was and went, all right, we'll go head to head. Yeah, AEW should do the fucking same then if this is the game we want to play, and then we can see. But otherwise, just take the W and enjoy it and fucking say good job and thank CMLL for giving them a fucking house and shit. So Thirsty Thurston pipes in. They did a 0.21 in the key demo. Man, good for them, for real. That actually, I'm like, wow, man, that's so long since they've done that. I'm actually fucking proud. Everyone, round of applause for AEW, for real. They deserve on a 2-1. Come on. They were doing like 0.13 and shit like that, you know? And I'm not even a stickler or a mark for this shit, but they were doing like 0.13 or whatever not even long ago, 0.15. And Dave's like, oh, I think all the young people went to Max. I think this proves that the young people didn't go to Max. They're just not watching your shitty show. And they saw how good this Worlds Collide shit was. And they went, we need to see what AEW's answer to that is with Grand Slam Mexico. Let's see it. Also, UFC Noche. When Canelo does a fucking pay-per-view, Canelo Alvarez, guys, the numbers, the Latinos fucking show up for theirs, man, okay? Show up in droves, fucking pay-per-view stars, man. De La Hoya, ask any of these motherfuckers, okay? I think that's mostly what it is. I gotta be perfect, and I'm not trying to be a hater because who turned out? It's the same thing with the AAA Worlds Collide show. Who turned out to watch that? You know, look at the Espanol numbers, crushed. I think it's that, man. They show up for their people. You know what I'm saying? So, really, Tony Khan owes CMLL, and then to let fucking them finish that show with MJF, or not finish the show, but to let MJF get eat the double drop kick from Mike Bailey and shit instead of Bandito and the Luchas standing up and beating the shit out of the dude for ripping Mystico's mask off. It wasn't even Luchas who saved him. That was some bullshit to let Mone win that title, to let them do all that and then give him a rating like this. Tony better fucking kiss that ring, dude. He better be bowing down like, thank you, CMLL. Please just have our whole fed. And there's a reason MLW and CMLL work so well together as well. And there's a reason why you see MLW shows riddled with CMLL talent and why they just throw their shit up on YouTube. So Alfred Konuwa roasts Tony Khan here, speaking of him, and he appeared on his new show called Cheap Pop. Okay, so let's check out Alfred Konuwa's new show starring Tony Khan.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cheap Pop. Pop the balloon or get booked. We are joined by 5 very talented wrestlers: Apollo Crews, LeBron Cheadle, Denzel the Entertainer, Blick Flair, and Benjamin Shelton. Now,
Blick Flair, Benjamin Shelton.
As you can see, each wrestler has been given a balloon. We're going to be bringing in pro wrestling bookers from across various territories. And if these wrestlers like what they see and they do want to work for this booker, they'll keep the balloon. If they don't like what they see and the wrestlers don't want to work for this booker, they will indeed pop their balloon. Does everybody understand?
Yes!
Fantastic. Let's bring in our first booker, Anthony.
What's up, my G's?
Damn. Your thoughts? Hello, everybody.
Oh my god, dude. Just taking shots. Nobody's safe. I gotta repost that. Amazing. Shout out Pro Wrestling Bits. This is nasty. So yeah, Meltzer, man, we talked about this before. So Tony Meltzer goes out there and is like, well, Monet people close to her said that she was willing to lose, but she wasn't willing to lose after whatever the fuck, or when Toni Storm became available, Tony Khan decided to go with that instead, but Monet would have lost. And then Fightful, I guess, comes in with a story going, AEW All In. Toni Storm versus Mercedes has been planned since 2024, well before Mariah May departure from AEW. And again, man, I'm pretty sure you guys can go back to my fucking Christmas show where we're talking about, well, it's Monet versus Toni fucking Storm. Like, obviously, that's your big money match. You got to do that one. There you have it. Unless Athena creeps in, but I just don't see them doing that shit, and they're not doing that shit. So I don't know. They just proved Dave wrong because he's just talking shit, man. He's been talking way too much shit lately. Agree or disagree? Many fans are saying Monet is the best in the world. So currently she has the AEW TBS Championship, the EWA Women's Championship, the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championships, because that's 2 belts, right? Which when you have both, you're the undisputed British champion. So CMLL World Women's Champion, the Women's Owen Hart Cup winner, the first and only professional wrestler to win championships across WWE, AEW, New Japan, and CMLL. And yeah, I mean, you could make the argument right now, I guess in kayfabe or whatever, she's the best in the world, you know? Swerve Strickland compares signing with AEW to joining the Los Angeles Lakers. What, dude? I don't know. Someone said maybe the Clippers, you know? But yeah, the Lakers, I don't know about all that, dude. I was going to say the Charlotte Bobcats or something like that. Is that even a team anymore? So yeah, the Beast Mortis replaced Claudio in tonight's 10-man tag. Why isn't what Cena said? Oh, it's what Cena said was alluding to Grand Slam Mexico, how they replaced him for Beast Mortis. Conspiracy. I could just come up with a conspiracy. Claudio Castagnoli, that's CC. That actually means Colt Cabana. Or it means Claudio Castagnoli.
Shut up, bitch! Stupid idiot!
Or it means what he said. So Brody King was wearing an Abolish ICE shirt, and he fucking made the news, man. MSNBC.
Today were effectively postponed. Unless you think this same sentiment isn't rampant among normies. Consider the fact that one of America's top professional wrestlers, Brody King,
among normies. Okay, asshole. I hate this condescending shit. And then he says one of America's top wrestlers. Again, not trying to be a dick here, but
Exactly, no pop.
Who?
Showed up to a match in Mexico City Wednesday night wearing a tank top that said Abolish ICE. I'm going to say this slowly and clearly because it's important, and there's a lot of misdirection on this. Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are on the wrong side of public opinion on this, and they're losing badly in the court of public opinion.
Okay, well, all that shit aside, he just said Brody King was one of the top American wrestlers in the world. That's a wild claim, bro. You lying, fake news. It's fake news. It's fake. Anyways, though, in AEW, and this fucking popped me because it's in English, okay? So this is what popped me. Like, they're in Mexico, and then they give the fan code of conduct, which seems more stricter than... Well, that's what, so Awful Wrestling said that. AEW fan code of conduct rules being more clear than the AEW's talents code of conduct is hilarious. That's fucking funny right there, okay? But not only that, it's in English. You think it would be on Espanol. No, you know, like, who the fuck? I don't know, man. It just seems so... There's just little things, man, and those little things pile up eventually and become one big thing, you know? So fan code of conduct, obscene or offensive gestures, signage or clothing, including the use of such language or gestures concerning a person's race, ethnicity, color, gender, religion, creed, disability, age, sexual orientation, gender identity expression, or national origin, or to instigate, incite, or encourage a confrontation or physical assault. So can you even be like, hey, that guy over there? Like, are you even allowed to say that? Jesus fucking Christ. Interference with the progress of the show, including throwing objects onto or entering the ring. You know, back in the day when people were throwing shit, that's when they knew they had them, you know? Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom. Failing to follow instructions of law enforcement, guest services, or security personnel. Any conduct deemed inappropriate or dangerous to fans, talent, or staff. Okay, well, here's the thing. I mean, when you have Darby Allin flying through glass shit at people, I mean, I don't know if Yeah, I don't know if you guys have room to talk there. Damaging the venue or personal property. Stuff will promptly intervene to support an environment. Okay, I'm not reading all that shit, but talking about staff. So yeah, I don't know, man. Hable Inglés, like fucking switch it up. Hello, donde está? Jim Ross gives a positive health update after surgery in colon cancer, King. So he says the worst is behind me, just healing, man, just trying to heal and get better. And that's kind of my goal right now. I had a meeting with my surgeon earlier this week. He's very happy, which makes me very happy. I believe they got all the cancer, which is great. Fuck yes, dude. So, I'm very blessed in that regard. I was scared to death for a while, to be honest with you, because it's that mysterious thing that you don't know. I mean, I don't know how much like cigarettes have to do with colon cancer. I'm just glad Jim's here. This man has survived it, man. He's gone through it. And I'm glad just AEW pay him so handsomely, please. I'd love to see him back in WWE, to be honest. Call one more Mania or just one more match even. But if he's happy doing what he's doing, and just lay off the cigarettes, Jim, that's all I want to see you do. But also I don't want to fucking, when you're at the age where and been through what he's been through, and it's like, well, fuck it. I totally get that and respect that too. Like more than you fucking know. To where it's like, fuck it, like, what the fuck do I'll fucking smoke a goddamn cigarette if I want to. It just reminds me of my grandfather. He had been through it too, man, his whole life, and he just fucking, I respect it, as an old gent. You've been through it. I mean, you don't fucking gotta listen to some dickhead like me, but I don't know if that exacerbates the cancer in your ass. I don't know how that works necessarily. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just so fucking grateful that Jim Ross they got all the cancer out according to him, and let's just hope it doesn't come back, and let's hope we can hear him call some more matches. Hey, like, not whole events. Don't keep him there all night, Tony, with a fucking 8-hour event when he's losing his voice and falling down and shit. Just make it easy for him, as easy as you can, and hopefully we hear him call, hopefully at All In, man. Hopefully he does something there. So our last piece of news, here's Harley Cameron. She says, I can't see much right now, but Revenge is starting to look really good. So Dave Meltzer, again, I think he was lying. I mean, Dave was like, oh, Harley Cameron was meant to take some time off, and the broken nose was a work. And it's like, but 2 girls broke their noses. So the broken nose was a work. It was a work spot that they planned before, but then she ended up really busting her nose with it. Okay, if that happened, crazy coincidence, but I don't know, dude. This looks like she really busted her fucking nose. So I think Dave was talking shit, trying to protect AEW again, because these ladies get hurt, and Anna Jay's just always plagued with injuries as well, it seems like. And Harley Cameron, she says, I can't see much right now. I don't even know what the sound is here. Yeah, I just don't want to get flagged for that. And yeah, I hope she's okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW news. Round of applause for AEW news. Saturday night, baby.